Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Gordon Master, and welcome to another edition of my SmackDown Live review for September the 6th, 2016. Now, tonight's episode of SmackDown, ups and downs and ups and downs and ups and downs, dude. It seems like they can never find a steady flow to make SmackDown 110% as good as it should be. Do I still feel like they will in due time? Yes. Is it frustrating to still see where they are now? Yes. Will I eventually get over it? I think I'll still be watching by next week. I'll even be watching Backlash by Sunday, so yeah. That says a lot if I'm watching Backlash over Sunday Night Football. So, yeah. So, with that being said, let's talk about it. I think we should talk about it. I think we're going to talk about it. Let's talk about it. So, I don't really have much Twitter to shout out, so I'm just going to ask the four usual things of you guys. Remember, if you like me and you are a subscriber of mine already, and you know what I'm going to be bringing you here, go ahead and like this video. If you are subscribed to the channel, same goes to you. Comment when you feel as if I have something to say that you don't agree with, or you do agree with and you just want to tell me, hey, that was a good point, or, you know, vice versa. Tell me you hate my stupid blind face and this should never be on camera, which it will be in a second here. And if you are not a subscriber and you have not done any of those things yet, wait until the end of the video, see if you like me. If not, and you need to, see more to, make a further judgment if I'm really 100% watchable on a episodely basis of these reviews. Episodely. I didn't do those in what I'll be using tonight. It's 5 a.m. here where I am. So, let me know that now. Well, now, but at the end of the video. And if you don't like that, I have a Raw review up for Monday. Go watch that. So, there we go. So that's Raw, everybody. Oh, not Raw, SmackDown. That's how I felt about SmackDown going into it. But let's get into the actual show. Let us get into the actual show. Okay, people. So, tonight we open a show with Daniel Bryan talking about the Women's Championship. Now, this honestly was and in my honest opinion, this was a very good win, a very good way to open up SmackDown. And excuse the yawning at any point in these things, like, it's just it may get out of control. It usually does, and I don't like taking pauses when it comes to certain things like that, but it is what it is. But, when it comes down to it, this, for what it was, and I understand for what it was, all around, this was a pretty good segment. You get all 6 women out there for Daniel Bryan to it was good until Carmella and Nikki Bella grabbed, well, not even Carmella, until Natalya and Nikki Bella grabbed mics. I mean, it got a little when Carmella kept, like, that entire team, plus Nikki Bella, trying to force the Princess of Staten Island thing, it just didn't flow for me. It just didn't work. So, what we originally get here is Becky coming out first. You get a little banter between Becky and Daniel, nothing serious, just like friendly banter. I thought you'd bring your sister out here first. I thought you'd bring your sister out here first. I thought you'd bring Nikki out here first, and that's totally not the case. That's totally not the case. And Brian ends up bringing Nikki. Not Nikki. I'm sorry. Ends up bringing Natalya ends up coming out next, and then that brings out Alexa Bliss to call Carmella's out there eventually, to call Carmella Polly Pocket and Natalya like some fake queen or whatever, blah blah blah. They argue and Becky forces them against each other, and then that leads us into them trying to attack and jump Becky, and then we get some we get a little hype for a six woman tag later in the night. But that's about that. They brawl for a little bit, and that's really about that. So, moving forward. Oh man, excuse me, excuse the yawning, and excuse the pauses. I am so sorry. Up next, it's been a long day, guys. Like, even before I get to what was next, I mean, my house almost burnt down today. Like, I almost lost everything from this computer to this. Okay, I'm gonna show you my house. It's just a mess. To this TV and PlayStation over here, I almost lost everything. Everything down to the like. I almost lost. I almost lost it all, guys. Like it was scary. Like, because quick story, I was coming back from because me and my girlfriend would do the whole matching hair thing, and you guys know how I color my hair every once in a while here and there. I went to go get hair dye, and I come back because I'm gonna watch SmackDown online instead of watching it on TV, and they said the brick house is on fire, and I have a brick house, so my house was almost the house that caught on fire. Like, it was literally next door. Like, there's literally chips of debris from the house next door in my backyard, on the side of my house, and in front of the house. It was that damn close. If the fire department didn't get here soon, I would have came back to being homeless. I would have came back home to no home. I hate to even dampen the mood there. I just gotta say, like, that's an experience that's not really like fucking fun to come back to. Like, that shit scared the living hell out of me. And to think about how much I love my aunt, my cousin, and they're the ones who live here, and like, even me and my cousin may not get along the best, or we may have spats and all that here and there sometimes. It's just, when real life comes upon you like that, it's not fun. Like, real life's a bit of a bitch, dude. Like, that shit got scary for a moment there. But back to SmackDown, because I just wanted to share that story with you guys. And that was really my night. And other than that, I was just sitting around hanging out with friends. But up next was The Miz versus Apollo Crews with Dolph Ziggler on commentary, and I, for one, was not a fan of this segment in someone's home. Yeah, I was not a fan of this in one bit, way, shape, and or form. And yeah, I'll say it week in and week out. It feels like the most annoying thing ever to say. But Apollo Crews needs that shit. He needs it. He needs it. Like at this point for Apollo Crews, it's just like, dude, you need it. You need it bad. That's no shot at you. You weren't bad there, but you weren't the best there. And usually when you get called up from NXT, you're the best, or you serve a role that will fit you, and fit you very well. If you do none of the above, or you are none of the above, then I feel like you don't need to be here. But besides that, Apollo Crews loses to The Miz, skull-crushing finale. He got involved with Dolph Ziggler. They both tried to attack Miz, and Miz forced them into each other. He basically directed traffic. And Miz got the win. So, there's that. Up next, I believe we get... Well, after this, nothing else really happens. Miz just has Maurice get back in the ring and grab his title. So, good heel tactic by The Miz. Good way to keep and get heat. Because, he's not trying to prove to everybody. The talking smack thing, it honestly doesn't translate. It's mixing. It's blurring lines, honestly. It's blurring lines, and it's kind of breaking the fourth wall. Because where The Miz says he's not a coward for the way he wrestles, he's safe, and this way he wrestles for however many years, while that is the truth, you also have to take into account that in the wrestling contents of things, which also is the garbage non-reality world, non-reality world, The Miz is, a bad guy who runs from these things and has his wife get involved sometimes. So it's blurring lines, really. Up next, we get the Usos versus Alpha, honestly. And this, Alpha won it about 20 seconds flat, maybe. 20, 30 seconds flat. And this, to me, was shocking. But the Usos attacked Alpha before the match, and commentary made it come off and seem as if it was a veteran move. Don't turn your back on the veterans. And after this, when the Usos lost in those 30 seconds when American Alpha wasn't as dumb as they thought they were, and lost a grand amplitude, they just they didn't. It was the veterans getting out veteraned or getting outsmarted by the younger guys. And honestly, in this sense, it worked beautifully because the Usos got back in the ring and tried to kill American Alpha, and hurt Chad Gable's knee, and took Jason Jordan out of the equation long enough where they could, mess up Gable's knee to the point where it was announced on Talking Smack that American Alpha, I believe, will not be able to compete. That's what I heard. So I don't know. It might be Heath Slater, and I could only imagine it's going to be Heath Slater and Heath and Rhino versus the Usos probably. So this way you definitely have someone to root against. Okay. Now, after this, we got the six women's tag. But I'm just gonna say this before I get to the six women's tag. This match, not even match. This moment for the Usos was well needed, dude. Like, they've been stale for well over 2 years now. It's been 2.5 years, almost 3. Actually, no, exactly 2 years for the Usos where they haven't done anything since they've gotten stale. And it's about time, honestly. It's honestly about time. I'm glad this happened. And I'll get to talking about the Usos more because we do have more to say, and I feel like that'll be the appropriate forum to say it. So we're going to move on here to the six-woman tag. I was excited about the way that they got this hyped for tonight, being fairly honest, and then it clicked to me. Shit. This is a WWE six-person tag. That is not really... They're not really good. It's just the blunt, honest truth. They're not really good. Doesn't matter who you put in them, unless their names are the Shield and the Wyatt family. With insert tag team, insert trio here. They're not very good. And the New Day can do good work too, just not with everybody. It's the blunt, honest truth. Okay. Now, with this being said, the heel's going to get the win. Carmella, and commentary actually for once, anyone other than Mauro Ranallo did a good job selling up the neck of Nikki Bella when Carmella got the one with the code of silence, because they said it put pressure on Nikki's neck to the point where she got scared and lived to fight another day and tapped out, or feared for her neck and tapped out. So either way, it was basically live to fight another day. And it also, and wow, I can't believe I'm keeping high praise on David Otunga. Agreeing with him to say that he doesn't know if Nikki's neck can hold up, and this is also a good, testament to saying no one knows if Nikki's neck can hold up in this situation because Nikki tapped out to the code of silence from Carmella. So that was about that. It was pain by numbers WWE six-person tag, nothing special. So I have nothing more to say. Kurt Hawkins facts, nothing really here to me. Randy Orton tells Charlie Caruso a story about, who he is and the predator he is and all that crap. Don't really care. And next we get Cain. Not Cain. We don't get Cain yet. We get Fandango. And Lita 30 years into the future. Basically, Fandango wants to see if this woman's hips can move. She's obviously a MILF. Okay, probably wrong word. Kruger trying to get on TV and get a spotlight at this moment, so she'll just say she can. It's basically a recycled Total Diva story if you really want to look at it this way. Lady says she can dance to get on TV. She can't really dance, like Eva Marie couldn't really dance. And then boom, she basically just she's not good. And then she dabs. She dabs. That's pretty much how that works. Okay, now this leads to Fandango kicking her out of the ring, and Dean Ambrose. Not Dean Ambrose, because the lady was wearing a Dean Ambrose shirt. That's why I was thinking Dean Ambrose. Kane comes out, chokeslams Fandango, walks out. Does the Fandango? If Cain would have dabbed, I would have about died. In the bad way. Well, you can never say there's really a good way to do it. But you know what? You guys know what I mean. You guys listen to me enough. You guys listen to me enough. You guys hear me enough to know what I mean. So, yeah. Wyatt promo. Honestly, they're all starting to come together to me. Wyatt and Orton. Something I'm not really excited for this Sunday on Backlash. Blunt, brutal, honest truth. Once again, I'm sorry. The only way I'm interested is if Bray Wyatt wins, because WWE seems to have this stigmatized mindset that Bray Wyatt just losing matches doesn't really matter, when it just makes him a lesser character in anything he'll ever say, which is his main thing. He's a storyteller. He is like what you guys want. You guys want a story to be told to get people invested. Wyatt's story won't really matter if he doesn't have the wins and credibility behind him to back it up. And I know that may sound ridiculous, but if Wyatt's just some guy talking and he hasn't really done much for anybody to really care about what he says, or he hasn't really proven much to really have people care about what he says, what is it gonna matter, right? Same for Dolph Ziggler. Like that is why I don't care about Dolph Ziggler versus The Miz. Like, it's fucking Dolph Ziggler, dude. Like it's fucking good. It's fucking Dolph Ziggler. Like, no, dude, just no. Moving forward, the Usos, why they were interviewed on Talking Smack about why they attacked American Alpha, and he basically said if they're not going to get respect from the crowd, they're going to take it. The Usos Talking Smack promos are, the best way to be an extension of yourself, and the Usos in real life are pretty entertaining, fun guys, and they seem like they would come off well as douchebags, just like Roman, honestly. But I didn't feel that here. I didn't feel that genuine stuff that the Usos have here. I didn't feel it. So up next is Rhino and Slater versus the Hype Bros. I'm sorry, it was hard for me to remember this, but it's the fucking Hype Bros. You got to really think about that. And Rhino and Slater win. Slater usually gets his ass kicked as per usual, and Rhino comes in and does the dirty work and gets the gore for the win. So Keith not brings his Gimmicks family, because that was a picture I seen earlier. He brought his Gimmicks family into the ring, but Keith goes over and hugs his family, and then they had to make the one kid in the crowd that looks severely like Heath Slater. They can make all the hillbilly South Virginia people they want to, but this person in particular had to like Heath, and it was a redhead in suspenders who had like the Heath Slater face going for him. So props to WWE for getting him. And up next we have Ambrose versus AJ. And while the entire basis of this may not have been Ambrose entirely being serious, which some people want, that's not what you're really going to get. Like, the extension of who he is now is basically what you're going to get. And you act like it's Roman levels of bad. Like, it's really... I'm going out to defend Ambrose here when I'm pretty sure the majority of people on my channel either don't hate him or they're just, not happy with the place that he's in right now. Like, I just... Ambrose to me isn't bad. Like, he got serious tonight, threw out the trophy, told AJ, if you really want to, he basically told him, if you want a trophy here, I'll hand this to you now because it's the only trophy you're getting. AJ told him, I'm not a joke, the only trophy I want is the one over your shoulder. And so on forth from there. So it wasn't really anything where you could just, bat an eye and just, that was fucking bad, Dean. Like, if you in any way, shape, or form are upset, it's the simple fact that AJ isn't who he was in New Japan. That is the only legitimate. If you even want to call that legitimate, you can't even do that because he used to put the whole gun sign at people's heads. Like that was what he used to do. This man used to point a gun sign at people's heads. Like that's what he used to do. Like, and he's not doing that in WWE. He's not going to be doing that in WWE. It's not gonna happen. So for anybody who wants that, you're kind of gonna have to get over yourself because I'm hearing people like, I don't like how AJ Styles is booked in WWE. He's calling himself the face that runs the place, and he's being arrogant about beating John Cena, and he's taking this to heart about calling himself the man, and people are still complaining. Like, I can only just say you're an AJ Styles mark, and I don't really know what to tell you. Like, I can understand there are others who are like not much AJ Styles marks, but they would like to see him portrayed maybe a little better. But he just kicks Ambrose in the nuts, and that's about it. I mean, if he would have Styles clashed, I wouldn't have had a problem with it, but it's not gonna happen. So it's whatever. But anyways, that's about it for SmackDown. I'm sorry for getting this up so late. I really am. I honestly am. And I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. See you.